Hi, it's Angela from Esteem Lingerie, and over the last few months of our YouTube channel, we have received a lot of great emails and comments from our transgender community. And at Esteem Lingerie, we have worked with transgender people for decades. And at this point, I'm going to give you a little out. If you're uncomfortable with the subject matter of transgender bra fittings, then I'm going to ask you to please jump to another one of our videos and enjoy one of those. However, if you know somebody who could benefit from this video, or if you yourself have questions about transgender bra fittings, this is the place where you want to be. And I'm going to go through some of the special fit points that need to be taken into consideration as you're working through the transgender process, especially when it comes to breasts and bra fitting. So here's your pause. If you want to jump off, now's the time to do it. Okay, so you haven't jumped off, you're here with me now, and I have to say that if you come from the perspective that I do when it comes to transgender fittings, it's really not something that's a big deal, because any person that comes into our shop, we work with men, we work with women, we work with transgender, we work with all sorts of people, and we operate from a philosophy of, first and foremost, we're all beautiful bodies. Second of all, whoever you want to be with me, that's how I will work with you. So, first rule of thumb that I always recommend for people who are going through the transgender process is look for a shop that will talk to you. And sometimes I wish it was different. However, you may have to check in with several shops and ask them how they feel about working with transgender individuals, or if they have any experience working with post-surgical, because sometimes we have some of our transgender community going with an implant option. If a shop is unable to work with post-surgical or post-augmentation in general, this just may not be the shop for you. But please, don't give up, don't be discouraged. There are more and more boutiques that are embracing all people coming into the shop and utilizing our services. However, if you don't feel safe, if you don't feel the kindness and the compassion, check out some of your local groups and stuff, or if you find a shop that does service your needs and you are comfortable in, please make sure you refer them to other people in the community so they know where a safe place is for them to shop. I want to tell you a brief story of a really good friend of mine, and she started with us. She came into the shop. We had only been open a couple months, and she asked me, was I comfortable fitting her as a transgender woman? And I remember stopping and thinking and going, well, why wouldn't I fit you? And it was just incomprehensible to me that she had experienced in other shops absolute nastiness and cruelty because of fear and miseducation. And whereas I'm like, hey, this is a great opportunity for us to work together. Because the fact is, our bodies are always in transition. And yes, some transitions are greater and more pronounced at a given time. But the simple fact is, all human bodies are constantly in transition. And my job as a fitter is to fit that beautiful body at all times. Now, there's a couple of special fit points that do become more pronounced when we're talking about transgender fittings. And this video is going to focus in on those fit points that tend to become more prominent. First of all, though, if you haven't watched our stoop, scoop, swoop, and jiggle video, I would recommend you watching that, because I show you on my own body all the different fit points that have to come together on a bra on your body. And if you're aware of those, then the rest that I hone in on this particular video will make so much more sense. Now give me a moment, I'm going to bring in my mannequin so I can show you a few things. So the first step that I tell anybody who is either growing new breasts or looking at implants, you have to get used to tension in your bra. And it seems kind of a funny first thing. However, it doesn't matter whether I'm dealing with prepubescent girls or transgender, or women who are just seeing their body re-landscape because of hormones. In order to have a bra comfortably support and function as a bra, it has to have tension on it. And this is something that all women have to get used to. Now, you don't want to start out with a tight-fitting underwire bra, especially if you don't have a lot of density or volume in your breasts yet. All you're going to do is torture yourself, because a lot of fit points on an underwire bra require a certain amount of density of the breast tissue and volume of the breast tissue in order for the bra to sit comfortably on the body. So start light, start flexible, but start wearing something with tension. Now, I really like bralettes, but particularly bralettes that do have some cup forming. Because if you go with a strict compression fit, like you see with a lot of little sports bras and stuff, you're not allowing that breast tissue to come out and form forward. You're just actually pushing it back under your arms. However, I usually recommend not starting with an underwire at first. Just get used to wearing a band with sufficient tension. And remember, I should be able to pull it out just an inch. I shouldn't be able to slingshot you out of it. The looser the band is, the more it's going to walk up your back and become uncomfortable with the straps falling off. So this should fit like a nice hug. Now, because typically with transgender fittings, we have a slightly wider rib cage. Make sure you're aware of that rib cage measurement. And you want to take the measurement right at the base of the breast, all the way around the rib cage with a snug fitting measuring tape. Whatever that measurement is, so in my case it's 34 inches, you want to add 2 inches to get you to the next band. Now, one of the biggest challenges in finding the right product in transgender fitting is often you need a bigger band because of the rib cage, but you may not require a larger cup because the breast tissue has not developed quite as much yet. And sometimes when you have a smaller cup size on a bigger band, the cup becomes very narrow. So looking for fits where, particularly if you do have an underwire, that they go a little bit wider around the rib cage. What you don't want is the breast squished in the middle and then almost like you have a second set of breasts underneath. There aren't as many companies out there who do that wider cup or a smaller cup on a bigger band, particularly in the underwire world. Often you will need to go to a non-wire option initially while you're going through these initial stages of being kind of that A to B cup. And a non-wire bra will still support, it can still shape. It just sometimes requires a little more of an expansive cup while things are being shaped and formed. I also wanted to show this bralette because, and I'm going to pop it out of the corner here, it comes with a little enhancer already in it. Now, this is one type of enhancer. It's just a fabric enhancer cup that can be used to even out the volume or provide volume in a very lightweight, efficient way. You can also find on the market different little silicone jellies, as we like to call them, enhancers. They come in different sizes and shapes and weights. Now, one of the other things that is very important is in order for a bra to stay low and snug on the body and not be moving around, yes, the band needs to be snug, but also there has to be enough weight in the cup to keep the bra down. So often when I have transgender fittings come in and they're like, I don't understand why this thing keeps moving around my body. It comes down to one of two troubleshooting areas. A, the tension on the band, or B, the weight in the cup to keep it weighted and balanced. And usually with a minor adjustment, tightening up the band or adding a little extra weight to the cup, we get a much better fit. The other area you need to be aware of is strap length. Now, I have a very broad-shouldered frame and a long back. And if you have broader shoulders and a longer back, this is the area where, even though the straps only take a small percentage of the weight, if these straps are too short and they're always pulling that bra back up, you're always going to feel like you're being hauled up this way. Straps are going to be falling off and you're never going to be comfortable. So please make sure that your top part of your back is level with the base of your breast. And if the straps are not long enough to get you there, then either look for a different brand or find a tailor who can lengthen the straps for you. This is something we do quite often. I often have to have my mom do it on my bras because I'm so long in the back, and certain companies just do not make strap lengths long enough for my torso. What this also means is that it's going to take some time and some experimentation to find a bra that's going to fit your body. And this is where finding a great shop where you can actually get in, try on different products, that kind of thing, and get that expert advice makes life hugely easy. I know often, and I hear this from some of my transgender friends, that they're trying to order online and everything looks great online, but it's those fitting points like the strap length that often they don't put in the descriptions that can make or break a fit. So whenever possible, if you can try on the garments before purchasing, and I do always recommend that purchase one bra. Even if you think, hey, this is a great fit and I'm really going to love this, purchase one bra, try it, wear it, truly love it before you purchase more, because this will save you the expense of getting a bra on and maybe finding out that it's not quite the right fit. So move slowly and add to your collection. The other thing when we're talking about different enhancers and forms, you can also check into prosthetics that have been designed for women who have gone through breast cancer. They're basically very well shaped, very well formed, and they can be a great way for you to have that profile right away you're looking for. Now, they do tend to cost a little more money. However, when they fit your body properly, they're going to give you the weight and the volume you need in order to wear a bigger cup size if that's your desired effect. Don't hesitate to look, but you'll probably have to look for boutiques that specialize in post-mastectomy or breast form fits for post-cancer. These are different places you can look to find the right fit. Now, I want to show you a couple of other bras and features on bras that will tend to work very well for your body.